So Juno is so far only playable for the weekend. If you haven't tried out Juno, I'm going to tell you why you should. I am an ex-Overwatch player. I used to love Overwatch. I was around at Overwatch 2 for a pretty long while until I stopped playing. But this season I started again because I heard some rumors about a new champion being released and I want to have tried them all. If you have been a fan of the channel, you've seen that I didn't really like Mauga that much because of his charts more specifically than anything, but Juno is a real step up for me. Juno is a hyper movement based support, just like Lucio, who does a lot of on hit healing, has a lot of utility to play around with, and also can do some alright damage to enemies. But as I said, she is hyper mobile, hyper movement active, whatever you want to call it. Just like Lucio, she is best at jumping around, flying around, avoiding any conflict, or maybe creating conflict. She has a few abilities that we can talk about. Let's start with her right click, which is a sort of lock on, heal, and damage. Basically, just like GTA 5 missile lock ons, you just start locking on to people and then you just shoot. But the fun thing is, you can actually select multiple targets and it can be both allies and enemies. So, in a way, she's like Moira here. Moira can heal and do damage the exact same time. And that's a really cool feature. This lock on is really cool, but it does disable you from giving constant healing to people, and you do have to be in a good position to give out this healing and damage. I really love this ability. I don't see a problem with it, other than, well, it's a lock on, but you can still block it or eat it with Sigma Shift or the Matrix from Diva. So it's not quite too strong. I don't know about the numbers yet because I haven't dove into it. I just played it, as you can see here, but I like this ability. Next up, we talk about her E, or the ring, as I'd like to call it. The ring is just movement speed. You yourself, when you throw the ring, get movement speed, and anyone walking through the ring will get movement speed as well. And I have no problem with this. As I said, I love utility. I love buffing my team instead of just constantly healing him. So this makes her more of a off healer than a main healer because she can provide quite some utility, quite some space, and of course the movement speed just like Lucio can, that can really push a team forward, but her healing is not as big as say Mercy or Ana. So she probably pairs really well with characters like Mercy and Ana. Imagine Ana being in trouble because of a Genji diving her. You can just throw your E on Ana and Ana can run and get the hell away from that weeaboo. Then there's her shift, which I haven't really figured out yet. What it does is it locks you in place on which height you are at that point. You still have that one jump from your passive that you could use. You could just float in that altitude for a while, and it's quite good for movement, but that's about it. It also can give you some advantages to maybe use your right click, your lock on people. You can get yourself into a better position that way. Or you can go from one high position to another position easily. There isn't really much to this ability. It really just is a better version of the already jump float combination that you have passively. Yeah, you can just double jump and hold down space like Mercy and still float about. It's just a slight upgrade to that. It just gives you a little more to work with, but it's not something special. The gun is like Ana. You can shoot on your teammates to heal them, or you can shoot on the enemy to damage them. You don't have to switch between two modes, you simply shoot. So if you miss your teammate and you accidentally hit an enemy, that's not a problem at all. So that's her base kit. Now what does her ult do? Juno casts her ult, you'll see a circle in which you'll be healed and damage boosted at the same time. So basically two mercies pocketing you. Except the entire team can stand in it and it also moves forward. So this is a very great way to advance onto the enemy together. Maybe you could pull off some cool combinations like Kuriko ult and this ult, but it is a pretty basic one. I don't know if I like it or dislike it since it's just so simple. The main appeal of Juno is certainly not any specific ability, it's just overall that she's pretty quick. She's like Echo, but a support. And also, you can't hit headshots, which is a downside. So you can't really truly play her like a DPS support so far. Maybe if you're ulting that you can maybe pull something off. But apart from that, you don't do enough damage to go full on Reddit Lucio or Reddit Juno, which I don't dislike. Very fun fact, Lifeweaver is one of my favorite supports, even though he barely does anything but heal and provide utility. But I love utility so much in supports that I can't help but love him. And Juno also provides utility. I still am waiting for that one support that provides an immense amount of utility. So far, Lifeweaver is the best we've got at that, but holy shit is Juno fun to play. Is it worth to start up Overwatch again and try her out? Maybe. I would say yes, like a 7 out of 10, yes. It's a pretty fun character to play, it's really cool to try out, and it could maybe potentially be your future main if you like Lucio and Anna and you'd like to see those characters combined, which basically is what this character is. Her design is cool. She reminds me a lot of Tracer because of her facial features, her outfit, her haircut, and also her body type, which I don't think is necessarily a bad thing, but I do think it's worth to point out it does have that very typical Overwatch style. Whereas for me personally, Ilari and Mauga didn't really give me that Overwatch feeling that I get when I look at an Overwatch character. That's pretty much it. This is the laziest video I've ever made. So, hey, if you like content like this, like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments down below what you think of Juno, if you like her, if you dislike her, if you think she looks too much like Tracer, if you think she should look more like Tracer because you have a body pillow of Tracer. Let me know in the comments down below, and see you around. Cheers.